Hey there, hey guys, it's me, Skinny Queen Reacts. Welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to the stream. How are you? By the way, I need to say happy Thanksgiving to all my fellow Canadian members and subscribers. So I hope you're having a beautiful weekend with your family. I hope it was nice. Hey, hi, Krista. Happy Thanksgiving. Angel of Glass, hello. Hello. Let's see who's all up in here. Crab Apples, happy Thanksgiving. Minka, hello. Angel. Um, Jessica Muska, hello. I don't know if you're still here. Chevy Girl, hello. QZ, hi QZ. Lady Nighthawk, Jess, hello, hello. It's good to see you all. It's good to see you. Teresa, Amanda, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Travis, if I missed anybody, Rosalind, hello. So, guys, listen. Um, I have a story that I want to do, and it might be somewhat controversial, but I feel like we need to talk about it because there are some things that are not adding up with this situation. However, it is a sad situation. It's a very sad situation. So there is a channel called Mom of Eight Kids, and I put together some clips and some receipts so we can go over some things and make the things that don't make sense. Maybe we can make some sense out of them. Also, there were being some. Well, let's just say this. She was misleading her audience. Very much so. However, I do feel horrible for her. She lost her husband, her kids lost their father. But I do feel it's important to um, not really expose her, but I do feel it's important to talk about what's going on because there's some dishonesty going on in this situation, especially when it's in relation to a Patreon that she put up and her videos. So, hey, Tiny Ghost. Hey, Amanda. Desiree, hello. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome in. So, we are going to go ahead and get into it. There is another creator that I'm using too as a reference. And so I went back and forth with this. It came up on my feed about 4 days ago. Her videos did. And I started watching them and I'm like, man, just things didn't seem right with some of the things she was saying. But I'm like, I'm going to leave it alone, until another creator came out with some other things that actually I didn't even pick up on. So I was like, I need to go over this with my people. I need to go over this because it's some of it's just not okay. It's just not okay. It's just not okay. So yes, please thumbs up. Hey Amanda baby, welcome. Um so I do ask you to keep the comments respectful in regards to her husband's passing. Yes, Desiree, thank you. We will get there. There's a lot. There's a lot. Let's go ahead and just let me load up my video and let's go ahead and just get into it. Let's see. Let me make it because I'm gonna make it public on my members, but don't go there. It's just my notes. You can watch it, I don't care, but I'm making it public on members so that we can watch it together. And again, my editing, horrible. Okay, but these are just for my notes so that we can go over and discuss things. So if you see, don't go to the members video. We are going to go to the members video together. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I just got to pull it up real quick. Hey, Colleen with a K. Hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, House of Hannibal. Hello. We are doing a deep dive on Mom of 8 Kids. And Mom of 8 Kids, if you happen to come in here tonight, you are more than welcome to come up on panel and share if you would like to. I want to give her the opportunity to go ahead and say her piece if she wants to. I will put the link in the chat. Yes, please go check out House of Hannibal. Hello, Yellow Moon. Hi. And again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody who's celebrating Thanksgiving. Here's the StreamYard link. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into this. I am actually, I know this is backwards, but I'm going to fast forward. I actually want you guys to see the end of the video with me, and then we'll go all the way back to the beginning. I know it was editing issues. I'm sorry. I couldn't get it to the front. I told you, I'm not an editor. I don't really care for it as much. But this is just all for my own personal notes and so that we can talk about this together. Hey, here you are. I love your name, by the way.
How dare you be taking stuff out on a poor widowed mum?
Okay, and this is how I thought too. Like, let me slow her down just a little. Okay, so this is another creator. I actually tagged her in my video. Her name is, let me get it up for you guys in 1 second. Hold on.
So before you clicked on this video, you're probably going, Amy, how dare you? How dare you be taking stuff out on a poor widowed mum of 8 children? Why are you being so suspicious? And the thing is that there's so much evidence now to suggest that this lady here has got the timeline completely messed up, and she's asking for people to donate. You're probably a little bit confused right now. It will all make sense once I've actually explained what people have found, what I have found. This will make sense if you've been following along with the family, the Mum of 8 YouTube channel, who she's basically a widow with 8 children. Her husband passed away on the kitchen floor. And she came out and she basically just said that,
actually, too, can one of my mods link her channel? Her channel is called Mom of 8 Kids. If you could do that, that'd be great. I do want to give her credit too, because I took a lot of her content to use for tonight. Also, this is the person that we're watching right now is Amy Robinson. I will go ahead and link her channel real quick, and then I'll start getting into this a little deeper with you all. For any of you just joining, let me just link Amy's channel real quick. I want to give credit where credit's due. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Thank you, Crab Apples. That is the channel Mom of 8 Kids. So if you want to go and watch all the videos yourself, you can. You feel free to do so. Hello, Irene K. Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. This is Amy's channel right here, Amy Robinson. She has a couple of videos on it, but I just wanted to play a clip from Amy just to get us started. Okay. Because this is how I felt before I wanted to make this video. I really felt torn about doing so because she is a mom who says that she had just lost her husband just just started putting up these videos, I think, what, about a week ago. So I was very torn about this. But let's listen to Amy.
Poor widowed mum of 8 children. Why are you being so suspicious? And the thing is that there's so much evidence now to suggest that this lady here has got the timeline completely messed up, and she's asking for people to donate. You're probably a little bit confused right now. It will all make sense once I've actually explained what people have found, what I have found. This will make sense if you've been following along with the family, the mum of 8 YouTube channel, who she's basically a widow with 8 children. Her husband passed away on the kitchen floor. And she came out and she basically just said that, what am I doing? In a state of panic, she was saying that her husband had quite literally died like less than 12 hours prior to filming the first video.
Like I said,
She seemed extremely stressed, and a lot of people were flocking saying, how can I pay you money? Da, 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 da. She then released with these 2 thumbnails, may I just add, she then posted a second video and it said like jail in the thing, and she's now posted a third.
Now, let me say this. The Patreon that she put out initially was $2. Then it was 4. Now it's up to 10. Now it's up to 10. So she has raised the price on the Patreon 3 times. Rudy, I'm sorry, hon. I'm not taking anybody up other than Mom of 8 if she happens to join the channel tonight. We'll have to do that another time, okay, Rudy? Thank you. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you for understanding. So she has raised the price. And listen. I have no qualms about helping a mother. I have no qualms about helping a mother who lost her husband and has 8 children. I that would be the first person I'd want to help. I don't know. She did not start at 12 hours after her husband died, but she said she posted, her first video is said to be posted 12 hours after her husband died. But we're going to find out that is not the case. That is not the case. So hang on, guys. Hang on. Sit tight with me.
And I'm going to go into some details about what these videos said and where people's warning kind of red flags came from. Fact that this lady is not telling the truth about exactly when her husband died, and I'm going to explain it a little bit further, because as sorry and as heart-wrenching I feel about this situation, I can't help but notice the glaring obvious signs, including her not quite blurring out the actual date on her phone, July 22. Anyway, we're going to get...
Okay. She shows a picture of her phone, and the date says in her first video that she made, not her first video, I'm sorry. I think it was her 3rd or 4th video, I'm sorry, that she made. The date says on her phone July 22nd. Now, mind you, she just started making videos about a week ago on her husband's passing. Yes.
Into the, just going to preface this and say that anyone who loses their husband of however many years, you've got a lot of kids, you're a widow, like I've never gone through that. That must be absolutely heart-wrenching. Absolutely heart-wrenching. Do not get me wrong, I'm not here just slamming her for, I'm not even slamming her. I'm not doing it for no good reason. However, if you're going to come online and say that your husband has literally died a few days ago, when in fact that is not the case, and then asking people to donate money, saying that you are a sudden widow, when in actuality the date on your phone says July 22. She didn't blur it all the way. I've managed to catch that, and other people caught that as well. If you're going to do that and ask people for money, this is not good. You need to be honest, people. Anyway, we're just going to like back it up and just go into a little bit more detail about who this lady is, the red flags that were coming up, and the fact that she's lying about when her husband actually died. This lady basically sprung out of nowhere for me. I don't even know what her name is. I can't find her name in the description box. Maybe she said it in a video.
If somebody could look up Amy Robinson's channel again and post it, I'd really appreciate it. Again, I had already started looking into this woman. I wanted to cover her, but I was hesitant. Amy gave me that push that I really needed. Amy is the one who found that the date was off and reported on it. So yes.
But I've completely missed it. Made a few videos before this, some of which of her feet or other people's feet, like ingrowing nail feet thing. It's not for me. She had a husband who she used to video, from time to time. The thing that was most interesting to me when she came on is that she was extremely upset, and she was detailing how her husband had died and how her and the kids were really used to her husband basically just like passing out, crashing, taking medication, and then passing out. But where he died was on the kitchen floor, and he apparently had vomit coming out of his mouth. And she had actually waited a little while to then call the ambulance because.
Oh, that's another thing. She waited a long while, per her own words, and we'll get into that as well. Okay, so that's enough of Amy. I had her at the end. Now we're going to go back to the beginning of my edited video. It's not great, but it's just notes for us to discuss and go over the facts. So let's get into it. This is, okay, I want you to pay attention if you can see it on the screen. Hold on.
This is
I want to make sure. Do you guys see where it says suddenly a widow with 8 kids, September 29th? Also, it says in her description, haven't told the kids yet. Raw emotion and outpouring of grief. From a happy family with a mom, dad, and 8 kids to now a widow with 8 kids. Their ages are 1.5, 4, 7, 10, 12, 16, 18, and 20. This will be important for you guys to note because she does talk about some of the children's ages in the clips that I have, and they are not the same as the ones in the description. All right, let's go forward.
Mom of 8 kids. Now I'm a widow with 8 kids.
Oh, I got to figure out.
Hours ago, my husband suddenly passed our home, and he was rushed to the hospital. And we have 8 kids together. We were married for 20 years, and he was a lot older than me. He just turned 70 on.
Oh, that was just, okay. So that was just me pointing out that it says suddenly a widow with 8 kids. She posted the first video on September 29th, 2023. And I already read you the description saying that she hasn't told the kids yet. She has not told the kids yet. Keep that in mind. She has not told the kids yet as of September 29th, 2023. And she's suddenly a widow.
Widow with 8 kids. Hours ago, my husband suddenly passed our home, and he was rushed to the hospital. And we have 8 kids together. We were married for 20 years, and he was a lot older than me. He just turned 70 on June 23rd. And so I knew this day would come, but I have been dreading it for 20 years. I have been dreading this day.
Okay, so, and I'm sorry it's so small. I told you my editing skills, crap. But listen, it makes no sense yet, but it will, Amanda. Listen, he was 70, she is 40, okay? They got engaged when she was 19. They got married when she was 20. They have 8 kids, okay? Are you guys following along so far? Yes, thank you. I have ADHD too, so just bear with me.
And so I haven't told the kids yet. Only the older ones know. This is our youngest one right here. He's over a year old.
Even though she showed her children, I did my best to block them all out when she had them in the videos, just because I don't want to show her children.
Born in January last year. My youngest one here, she's 3. She'll be 4. Just a minute. Those are the kids. They don't know I'm recording this. So The reason I'm doing this is because I think it'll help me a lot to have an emotional outlet to deal with this, because we don't have any friends and we don't have any family members, because my family members didn't agree when I married the love of my life, my husband. So I stopped talking to all of them, and it's been like 20 years.
I said this was also a red flag. Listen to this, okay? She has no friends, no family on her side, no family on his. That is a red flag to me. It's almost, I'm wondering who was keeping who isolated. I'm pretty sure it sounds like he may have been keeping her isolated. I feel like she was very dependent on this husband for everything, like everything.
And we don't have any family members, because my family members didn't agree when I married the love of my life, my husband. So I stopped talking to all of them, and it's been like 20 years since I talked to anybody.
It says only
the older ones know. My oldest
okay, that said only her two oldest know that he's passed. Okay. So 12 hours has gone by in this video, and only her two oldest know, and she's also got a 15-year-old. Okay. He still doesn't know by this point.
20. He just turned 20 June 15th. And my second youngest, 18, he was there at the hospital with me. And we said our goodbyes. Although I tried to tell myself that he's not really gone, I tried to tell myself he's in a different place. And I get scared. I don't know how to not have him around. We've been married 20 years, like I said. My husband was on ODSP, so any prescriptions that my son, my eldest, and I need, which there are two, we each need one, I got to get that filled out before the ODSP coverage ends. Try and get as much of that done, because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't work, and I'm not going to be getting my husband's income anymore, the ODSP coverage and the income and his pension too, because he was 70 years old. So that.
Okay. She did end up getting this coverage, and still is getting it till, I think, October 17th of this month. Yes, I did say that. You did hear me right. She's been getting it now for 3 months. Now, remember, I said on the phone, it said that date was July 22nd, but she made the first video on September 29th saying that he had suddenly passed. Are you guys following? You keeping up?
That won't be coming in anymore. I'm going to streamline our bills. I'm going to try and cut out anything that is extra, because I also need to notify the ODSP, which is disability in Canada, in Ontario.
Yes, crab apples. So I thought of you as I was doing research. So when she called Krista, they said that they'd be covered till October. Yeah. Crab apples. It must have been something in the water in the late 70s, early 80s. I'm not saying everybody got it. It was like a fungal syndrome or something. I don't know, crab apples. I know that the rest of my Canadians in here are normal, so I don't know.
Tomorrow, the coroner is going to call me and tell me about it. Oh, that's baby. We have to get groceries, and I just got to sort out other things here.
I mean, now listen, guys. I do feel for her, and don't get me wrong. I do absolutely feel for her. I can't imagine losing a husband, and on top of it, having 8 kids, and on top of it, it seems like she was very sheltered by this guy, very sheltered. So I do feel for her, but I still have to. I still have to call her out because right is right and wrong is wrong, and manipulation is manipulation. So let's go.
We're also living in housing right now, thank God, because rent would cost us twice as much. And if we had to go and find a place to rent, nobody would want to rent to a family with so many kids. So, sorry, my baby's there. He's just playing with some stuff that he shouldn't be playing with. Here, I got to move that chair to block him.
All right. So her right there, her baby's playing with stuff that he shouldn't be playing with. And instead of pausing the video and getting them, grabbing them, whatever, she just blocks him with a chair. Okay. That's my first red flag right there. Well, not my first, but for as far as the children are concerned.
So that's a little bit of a breakdown right now.
Okay, so he was on disability pension. And Pam G, do you know how that works? You know, because she was saying that she would be covered insurance-wise till October. Will she be covered monetarily till October as well? And is that probably why she just put out the videos now? Because I'm just gonna spoiler alert, he passed July 22nd. Okay, she should get part of his pension.
I don't know how to tell the younger kids. My little one here, Empress, my daughter, she's okay. She doesn't know what's going on. My baby, our baby, doesn't know what's going on. He's fine. I have a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old and a 16-year-old.
Let me just say this though, a 3 going on 4-year-old with you talking constantly around them, they know what's going on. They're not stupid, okay? Kids, you need to give them more credit than you are giving them because children are not stupid. They know what's going on.
And she's my daughter, my 3-year-old. And this little guy here, I just put his hair in an elastic to keep it out of his face. So the idea and the plan is that tomorrow, right now it's pretty late. It's about 11 at night. When my 18-year-old is awake and my 20-year-old is awake, Empress, you're squishing the baby. That's when I'm going to have to tell our 16-year-old. His name is Adonis. That was my daughter. Bump the camera again.
Okay, but she doesn't. She says she's going to have to tell her 16-year-old, but she doesn't tell him yet. So let's pay attention. Now remember, she's told her oldest. She's told the 18-year-old, the 20-year-old. She's constantly talking, though, around the 2 youngest children, and she hasn't told the 16-year-old yet at all. She says she's going to, but not yet.
So I don't know how to tell the others, though. I still have a 12-year-old. The baby's starting that again. I have a 12-year-old because we have 8. We had 8 together. And I kind of feel like a kid because I don't know how to live now without his guidance. Because I was 19 when we got engaged. I was 20 when we got married. And now I have to do everything on my own. But thank God I have our children and our older boys. I think as long as we are there for each other, we don't need any outside help at the hospital.
Now, it's wrong to put that kind of pressure on young adults. It is. You do have to lean on family when things happen, but these are young men, barely out of their, one barely out of teens. You definitely need outside resources. I don't know what her name is because I don't know if she's ever said it. But you definitely need outside resources. She does not drive, Jessica Rizzo. She's going to rely on her 18-year-old who has a license. Yes, Pam G. it seems that he was very controlling, she's very sheltered, and it seems like they lived a very sheltered life, you know?
Hospital, they offered me counseling, but what are they going to do? I'm just going to talk to them and they're going to say yes, yes, no, whatever they're trained to do. And I think it would be more meaningful talking to.
So the hospital offered her counseling. She said no. She needed to take it. She needed to take it for her kids' sake. And yes, again, if this was truly filmed 12 hours after her husband passed, I don't blame her for being in the state she's in. She has 8 kids, and now she's got to take care of everything on her own. And I do feel like I feel like he was controlling of everything. That's the vibe I'm getting. I feel like he just shut down. Oh, we'll get into that, Jessica Rizzo. You want to stick around. You want to stick around. Trust and believe.
Our family, our boys, my older boys, and be there for each other. Because, like I said, we don't have any friends. We kept to ourselves. We're very busy in our household taking care of our family. And my father passed away. My mom I don't talk to. My sister I don't talk to. And they don't even live nearby. They live far.
Let me say this, and I did say red flags. This is red flags. She don't talk to her family. He don't talk to his. They have no friends. The children have no friends. There's something not right about that situation. It's not good. It's not good. And this is how you end up in situations like this when you rely on one person in your family and they control everything around you. This is where you end up. This is how you end up. This is not what to do. Like, we're trying to say, this is not what you should be doing with your life. But I think he was paranoid of other people, I heard, and I did watch some videos with him in it, and he seemed to have a little bit of funny ideas going on too. So, yeah. It was more of their own little commune, if you will.
Far away. So does my husband's relatives. And I'm not really close to my husband's relatives anyway. So.
Hey, Lizu. Hey, everybody.
He hasn't spoken to them in a very long time. He had a falling out with his sister.
They were homeschooled, Stephanie.
He was found in the kitchen on the floor. He wasn't breathing, and I'm trying not to cry. I want to tell you that the kids saw him on the floor. I saw him on the floor. I checked the breathing, and I called the ambulance, but it was, the kids think that he's in the hospital and that he's still.
Okay, so also spoiler alert, she called the ambulance. He was found on the floor. She didn't call right away, though. We'll get to that too. I'm
going to come back. So they think he's going to come back still. They're okay. The younger ones and my 16-year-old too. Like I said, the only ones who know is
I do not,
my older two sons. Not. And we found him. I found him. He was on the floor, like passed out with vomit coming out of his mouth. And we were all home. We were all home. And his head was turned to the side. And I thought that would be okay because I'd seen this happen before. He takes some of his heavy pills, and I thought it was acid reflux. And so I thought he would sleep it off, but...
Now, did you hear that? She had seen this before. This wasn't the first time he's done this, okay? That's also not normal and not good for the kids to be seeing.
His head was turned to the side, and I thought that would be okay because I'd seen this happen before. He takes some of his heavy pills, and I thought it was acid reflux. And
he's on sleeping pills and pain pills, and she's seen this happen before. That's not good.
So I thought he would sleep it off, but they think that one of his lungs filled with the vomit, and they think that's what happened, and he was already dead when I saw him on the floor. He was snoring, and I noticed that he was very quiet, so I went to check him out, and I thought he was breathing shallow. And I tried to wake him up. I couldn't wake him up. I was shaking his arm. I was calling his name, Eugene, Eugene. And so I knew he wouldn't like me to call an ambulance, but I did anyway, and it was already too late.
Ma'am, when people are laying on the floor and they're not responding, at that point, it doesn't matter what they like. It's your responsibility to call 911 and get emergency services there ASAP.
Told us to do heart compressions until the ambulance came. Ambulance came very fast. They worked on him. They worked on him for about 20 minutes, and then they took him to the hospital, worked on him again for another 3 hours. And they got me to try and talk to him towards the end, but even though they had got a pulse, they had lost it twice. The first time they shocked him back to life because I told them that he...
Listen, she did not call the ambulance immediately. She waited. She'll say that. We'll hear it again, but she did not call the ambulance. They let him lay there on the floor for quite a while.
He has kids and he has a young baby, young children at home, and so his heart was, the pulse was very weak, and each time they got it beating again, was just not as strong a heartbeat. And finally it stopped, and they gave him every medicine they could. They couldn't shock him back to life again because his heartbeat, I guess, wasn't strong enough to do that. So
I agree, Crab Apples. Crab Apples makes a great point. We have to keep in mind this woman probably has not grown mentally since the age of 19. Absolutely. And we don't know what she has endured prior to that to make her want to, basically, I'd say, go marry a guy 30 years her senior, even with family, as she says. Family telling her, don't go, don't do it, don't, leave him. Even a couple years into this, I think that the family still tried to get her away from him, and there is a reason why they were trying to get her away from him. There is a reason. Not only was he 30 years older, but it seems from everything that I have seen, he was very controlling and very paranoid about others being involved in their life. So it's a sad situation all the way around, definitely.
He had already suffered brain damage because his heart just wasn't pumping enough blood to the organs and his brain, so he would have suffered brain damage. But I would have been okay with him not being the same man, as the doctor said. I would have been fine because I would have still had him to talk to and to hold his hand. I would have been fine.
Listen.
You know?
This tells you how regressed she is. Listen to this. She would have been fine. He was already suffering with brain damage. She would have been okay if he was like that, as long as she could hold his hand and he'd still be there. That's not really a normal response either. Usually it's, I wouldn't want my family member to suffer and stay in that condition, over my wants and my needs. So
they couldn't shock him back to life again because his heartbeat, I guess, wasn't strong enough to do that. So probably had already suffered brain damage because his heart just wasn't pumping enough blood to the organs and his brain, so he would have suffered brain damage. But I would have been okay with him not being the same man, as the doctor said. I would have been fine because I would have still had him to talk to and to hold his hand. I would have been fine, but now it's just us, and I have to be very cautious not for any of us to fall down the blame game, because
Snickers, I think so too. One of their kids is named Arian. That's the first thing. That's the first thing that I thought of. Arian. I'm not sure. I can't say for sure. But yeah. Hey, Christine. Yes, and if you guys see, he's got like one of those beards. Just saying. I mean, I know it's stereotypical, but yes, Marie Johnson. Hey, QZ. Oh, I saw QZ over. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place, but there's a lot to dissect here, so just bear with me. So, what she says is very concerning to me. I wrote that in my little notes here. So, let me go back and see what she's saying. Oh, yeah, it's her wanting to still hold his hand, even if he were to be brain dead. And she needs a lot of emotional and mental support right now. And I feel like if you are watching Mom of Eight, please accept some of those community resources for help. Do not do this alone. Do not do this. Do not hide yourself away from the world. Your kids depend on you, and they depend on you being well in order to care for them. So you definitely need more than just the internet, YouTube, to process your emotions. You need to go out there and speak with people, speak with professionals.
I would have been fine, you know, but now it's just us. And I have to be very cautious not for any of us to fall down the blame game, because he had already been dead.
Hey,
He had stopped
Raven.
breathing for a while when I found him. And
Oh.
I had seen him on the floor earlier, but I thought.
Well, that's your opinion, Raven, but you know what? It is YouTube, and she has put all her information out here, and I'm just reacting to it. You know what I think is wrong, though? I do think it's wrong for her. I did think it was very wrong for her to lie about when her husband passed to sign up in her titles, and she makes it seem like her husband passed a week ago, when in actuality he passed on July 22nd. But in her titles, she makes it that he has passed just a week ago, and then puts out a Patreon, so that it's not okay to play with the subscribers' emotions either. And that's very manipulative. I do still feel sorry for her, but it's not okay to manipulate your audience either for monetary gain. There should be an investigation. All right.
That he took his prescriptions, his what he called knockout pills, because the pain gets too bad. If he doesn't take his prescriptions, then he suffers a lot of pain. If he does take them, it makes him feel sick, and seems to also have a cumulative effect after day too. He actually stopped taking his pills for a week up until 3 days ago, and he was fine when he wasn't taking it, but the pain got too much. So he started with some, he had a racing heart, so he had a pill for that, and some 2 others. I think I can't remember their names. And bus drivers came in. I found this. They left this behind. I'm not sure what this is. Here.
Okay, that's an EpiPen.
Can you read that?
So the EMS tried to revive him with the EpiPen, probably because he was on pain pills and whatnot, and to probably get his heart, started.
I'm not sure what that's for, but that's just one of the things that they left behind. He's going to...
Also, him not taking his pills for 3 or 4 days, and then taking the dose that he usually takes, Stephanie, yes. He could have definitely OD'd. He could have. I'm not saying he did. He could have.
To the next city. They sent him to the next city, and they're going to be doing an autopsy on him. And my husband, he actually had a wish not to. He wanted to be buried intact. In fact, he didn't want to be buried at all. He wanted a mausoleum. But I was told by the nurse that...
I think what had happened, though, because he did aspirate, and he laid there for so long, he wasn't able to be... They brought him back very temporarily. His heart was too faint, and I just think there was too many things going on. Too much time had passed. Way too much time had passed.
I should probably think of.
And that's where my questions with this one comes into play, because he was left on the floor for quite a long time before the EMS was called, and that is by her own omission.
About a funeral home, but we're not going to have a funeral. I think that'll just make things worse. I think we've never been to one. We're unfamiliar with it. That would just scare the kids, I think. So I don't believe we're going to have a funeral, but I think cremation might be the only option. At least then if we move or something, we can take him with us, because we lived in Ontario, we lived in Saskatchewan. Yeah. We almost moved to BC twice. Sure what the cause was exactly yet.
Yes, she thought he could sleep it off because this is something they have seen, her kids and herself have seen multiple times. Him passed out from meds. Strong pain meds, she calls them, and also sleeping pills. When you mix sleeping pills and pain meds together, that's a cocktail for, it's not very, let's just say it can be a deadly cocktail. It is, Snickers, it is. Yes, it is under investigation. She claims that the police came by and told her that she's not in trouble, but the police are not going to tell you that you're in trouble when there's an open investigation going on.
Yep. And if you're not sure, I mean, if you don't know, if they don't know the cause, then the police officers, they were in the kitchen and they stayed there the whole time while we were in the hospital, keeping the area forensically, complete until they heard, and the coroner said that he was going to go send my husband for an autopsy. So the police were in the house, 2 policemen were in the house in our kitchen while my kids were at home, and later on my eldest and my second eldest joined me at the hospital. So that must have been weird, because we don't usually get visitors. Like I said, we don't have friends. And yeah, okay, where's your popcorn? And so then they had to kick us all out when they heard from the coroner that my husband was going to go for an autopsy. And they looked through the house. They were looking, it was routine. They said, just in case there's, something suspicious. They went in the rooms. They checked out everything. They asked me if I used drugs. They asked me if he used drugs, like street drugs. They read his notes, his love notes to me. And they just, they didn't just shuffle a lot, but I know they were checking out, the house, see if they can find like the smoking gun or something. I hope that I'm not going to have any more trouble, inconveniences from the police or anything. And I'm thinking that they might call, in the US, it's called CPS, like the baby police. Where I live, it's called Facts, Families, and Children's Services, because I didn't have the baby in a crib, and we have an unconventional lifestyle and schedule.
Now, I wonder what she meant by she has an unconventional lifestyle. What did that mean? She doesn't go into detail, but I just find red flags.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they were notified and I get a knock on the door from them. And we've been through this before. When my years ago, we've been through this before, and they went through it all, and they didn't find any abuse or anything like that. And it was just a stupid reason that anyone can call.
Okay, so she's had CPS there more than once in the past. That let's just say what it is for what it is. She's had CPS there more than once in the past.
And they found nothing, of course, because we were a good family. And now it's really just us. So I left the closet.
Okay.
It's been 39
The
hours.
title of this, listen. The title of this video is 39 Hours. My husband suddenly died. Mom of 8 kids. She is still going with, at this point, she's still acting like her husband had just died 39 hours ago. She does not say in this description either that her husband She has changed some of the descriptions now that she's been caught and called out. But at this moment, she still had the description that her kids weren't told yet. But her husband died July 17th of 2023. So why is she trying to act like it just happened 39 hours ago?
Hours since my husband suddenly passed away. I have 8 kids. My 2 eldest is 20 and 16, and we suddenly lost their dad. Yeah. Now, I did make a video already explaining what happened. You can go back and watch that video. Thank you for clicking on this video, because I think that doing this will help me. It's an emotional outlet. So YouTube has become my emotional outlet, and what I'm going through, which is the hardest thing I have ever had to go through in my life. But he prepared us. He
Again, and I said, I do not doubt this is the hardest thing she's had to go through. I do feel for her. I want to reiterate that. I really do feel for her. She lost her partner. Her kids lost their father. So I do feel for that. Like, I do. On a deep level, I do.
was always looking after us. So, sorry about my voice. And my husband was on ODSP. Stop bumping, okay? Sorry, the kids keep bumping the camera. My husband was on ODSP, and these two, they're too young to understand what's going on. They have no idea what I'm talking about. So we went to the bank account, and I took out.
The 4-year-old definitely is old enough to know. You need to give your children more credit. Children, again, I say this, are very smart, and they pick up on things, and they know what's going on. And you've been talking about it now. This is the second video you've been talking about things in front of them. So if nothing else, the 3, almost 4-year-old definitely knows something's up.
As much I could.
And the baby does too, because babies can sense when you're stressed.
They started charging me to it. So we do have a bit of savings, but I'm going to be cut off of his ODSP at the end of the month. ODSP is disability. I'm in Canada. So in Ontario, disability, ODSP. It's like Ontario Disability Support Program, I think. So that card was linked to ODSP. It was money that they would give him every month. And I'm going to try and take that out before they cancel it, because it was money for him that he had let accumulate over the months. And so we had done groceries. Hang on, I got my list here. We did groceries. I got as much of our prescriptions that I could in advance while it was covered by his ODSP, because I have no income. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I just get what I get from the government.
Yes, thank you so much, Lady Nighthawk. And I do want to stress that once again. I stressed it in the beginning. It is pinned to the top. And thank you for saying it again, Lady Nighthawk. For those that are just coming in, when we review a channel, we ask that you please do not go to any of the channels, and harass them, or anyone that follows them or speaks to them. Please, thank you. Yes, and it's very important. Like, I don't want her harassed. However, I do want to bring this to attention, because it is not fair for her subscribers to be misled about her husband's passing, and to also be toyed with their emotions over donating to her. I do feel like I feel like she needs to be honest about it. Like, I don't think people would have a problem donating to her, even if she came on 3 months later. It's very understandable not to post something the first couple of months, because you're going through things. And I think that she would have just as much support if she was honest about it. But now that people have been calling her out for being dishonest, it's just a really bad look. Like, she needs to come on, make an apology for lying to her audience. People are very forgiving. So she just needs to, instead, she's doubling down. Surprise, surprise. And basically saying, well, I never said this, I never said that, and changing things. Yeah.
For the children. And and we have a bit of savings. So I don't want to use up our bit of savings. We need that for emergencies. The call from the coroner said he had a large pneumonia on the right side of his lung, which is probably because he was lying on the floor for a very long time. As I said in the last video, I couldn't wake him up. He was knocked out. He had taken his heavy pain relief pills.
Listen to this now. This is a new video from the last one. He was laying on the floor for a very long time.
So I don't want to use up our bit of savings. We need that for emergencies.
Oh, also, listen, ma'am.
Because I have no income. I'm a stay-at-home mom.
If you have savings, this is an emergency. But she wants other people to send her donations from their savings. She has a savings, but she wants other people to send their money in so she can save her savings for a real emergency. What's a bigger emergency than your kid's father passing away?
I just get what I get from the government for the children, and and we have a bit of savings, so I don't want to use up our bit of savings.
You're welcome, Crab.
The call from the coroner said he had a large pneumonia on the right side of his lung, which is probably because he was lying on the floor for a very long time. As I said in the last video, I couldn't wake him up. He was knocked out. He had taken his heavy pain relief pills, and I was waiting for him to sleep it off.
QZ, they all saw him laying on the floor. They all saw him laying on the floor. She said it was a normal occurrence. Like, he's done it before. He's passed out, and they were waiting for him to sleep it off. They were waiting for him to sleep. Yes. Yep, just laying there. I know, Crab Apples. I know. Yeah, no.
They're not sure what caused.
Something very wrong with this situation. Very wrong. Like, so let me say this. I have questions now about her husband's passing, and that's the main reason why I wanted to make the video. The other person that I showed you that called out the date, I didn't even pick that up. The first thing I picked up, though, was like her saying that he was laying on the floor for a long time and she was just waiting for him to sleep it off. And he was laying on the floor with his head turned sideways, and she said, well, he was laying on the floor, head turned sideways so that the fluid could come out of his mouth, and just waiting for him to sleep it off. Ma'am, how many times have you seen this? This should not be a normal occurrence in your household around several children. It just shouldn't. It should not.
It's still so. They took some samples, and they're going to be doing some tests. And he said he'd call me back in a few weeks. It could be months with the results. We kept ourselves. We've been busy raising our family, so we don't have friends, and we moved around. So we don't have any family members. I don't have many family members in Canada. I just had my mom and my dad. My dad passed away, and my aunt. I don't talk to them because they didn't want me to marry my husband 20 years ago. So they were trying to.
Okay. Now, I did put this here because I wanted to show you guys. She posted this video on October 2nd. It's titled 39 Hours. My husband suddenly died. Suddenly died. Still haven't told the kids yet. My honest emotion and outpouring of grief from a happy family with a mom, dad, and 8 kids to now a widow of 8 kids. Their ages 1, 5, 4, 7. But she says her 3-year-old in the video. And why is that? Because he hasn't suddenly died. He hasn't suddenly died within the last week, ma'am. He passed away July 22nd, and you're trying to make it look to your audience that you just suddenly lost your husband, when in fact you lost him 3 months ago. And I still feel bad for you. I do. But it's not okay to manipulate a whole audience for monetary gain. It's just not okay. And that's why we're discussing this. And the second reason we're discussing this is because the things that you're saying about his passing are not adding up. It's very alarming.
Interfere with my marrying him. So even after we were married, they didn't accept it. They were trying to break it up. So I just stopped talking to all of my family. And I don't have his family because I'm not really close to them. He didn't really talk much to them throughout the years. So that's why I thought YouTube would be a good outlet. And we have each other. we have each other. So I am very proud of my older boys. They've been doing so well. My
Yes,
18-year-old boy, he's
Travis,
so
yes.
responsible. And my 20-year-old, he's there for me to talk to. One of my biggest concerns is how they are going to manage with this this new drastic change. But anyhow, that's my daughter there, my 3-year-old. She doesn't know what's going on. To get up out of bed, and I know I wouldn't be able to get back to sleep because they don't know what exactly caused it. And then they sent him for an autopsy. And I said in the last video that the police were at our house and they were looking through things, trying to find what I call the smoking gun. And there's a detective involved.
This is the second video she's addressing a smoking gun, the police going through her house. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. My mom passed at home. Never once. My mom was 77, by the way. She also took narcotics for cancer. She was on hospice. Never once, though, did I think, oh, they're going to think I did it. Oh my goodness. The police are going to think I did it. Maybe I didn't do this. Maybe I didn't do that. And to be fair, she was on hospice though, but still, you know what? They still send a police officer out to your house, even with hospice. It's something they have to do. And he came in and he looked around a little bit and seen what was up and what not. And everything was okay. But I didn't sit there and think, oh my God, I'm going to be in trouble. The cops came. He was looking around. He was investigating. Something's not right here, guys. Something's not right. And what concerns me more about her lying about the July 22nd is her saying that she left him on the floor for a long time and was hoping that he would just sleep it off. But she also said that he wouldn't answer her and he had liquid coming from his mouth and all of that. And she's been worried about it in all these videos. She's been worried about getting in trouble in all these videos. Why? Why? It's just red flags all the way around for me. I'm just saying. Not saying she done anything intentionally, but she also didn't do enough, in my opinion, to get the EMS there like she should have. Yes, she does, Lynn. She does. I'm not saying that she did it intentionally. That is not what I'm saying. But I just don't like some of the things that are being said in these videos. Yes.
She asked me some questions, and the thing is that not now, Empress or Passion.
Thank you, Maria. I appreciate it. Sorry, Desiree, too, for your loss.
What really scared me is what if she thinks that it's neglect? We all saw him there on the kitchen floor sleeping. You couldn't wake him up. He was knocked out. He was snoring, and his face was turned to the side, so the fluid that was coming out could drain. And my son is 20 years old. My second oldest is 18 years old. They're adults too. So my concern was she going to charge me with neglect or manslaughter or something like that? We didn't understand what was going on with him on the floor. We had seen him, knocked out before with his pills. He was snoring loudly like he does when he takes his heavy pills. Until he wasn't, he was very quiet, and that's when I called the ambulance. And so is she going to charge all three of us since we're all legally adult? Is she going to charge all three of us with manslaughter or neglect? I have a few things in my favor, though. One is I was not legally his caretaker. He managed his own pills. He managed his own doctor's appointments. I don't even have a driver's license. My 18-year-old has a driver's license, a full driver's license. So fortunately, he can take us to get the groceries and such.
Yeah, there's not one thing normal about sleeping on a kitchen floor. Not one. Not one at all. Like, let me just let him lay there while he sleeps it off. And all the kids are seeing this. All those children are seeing their father on the floor as if it's normal. That's not okay either, though. She needs a lot of help. She definitely, you do, ma'am, need a lot of help, please. For the children, you do need a lot of help. And your children need help. Again, I beg you, you need to get a lot of counseling and you need a lot of help. You do. She does know the term neglect, yes. Yeah, he had a bad back. You know, but a lot of people that get on pain medication for the right reasons end up abusing them for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? And one thing I'm thinking, she said he didn't take any meds for 3 days. I'm wondering if he had built up like this. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking this. I'm thinking he ran out of his pain meds. He probably might have been taking more than he should have. I don't know. This is just speculation right now, folks, okay? I'm not saying he was, but I'm saying maybe he ran out. And then when he went to take them again at the higher dose that he was used to, he couldn't. It happens to people who take heroin all the time, or it happens to people who take opiates. It happens to people who get clean and then fall off. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. That could be too, Krista. Yeah.
And I tried to tell myself, I'm sorry about all the ands, but I'm so nervous. I called. Well, I found the phone number for, in Ontario, it's pro bono, where you can get free legal advice. Sorry, that's free legal advice for people that don't have a lot of money, because I think I need it. The detective, it's up to her what she thinks. If she thinks that, you know, we neglected him, which we did not. But I know the house is dirty. I know the house is messy. My husband has not been able to do much for a long time. And like I said, we don't have friends or family members to come and babysit so we can clean up the house. It's just us. And now it's really just us. So for a long time, he was not able to do, to help out because of his back around the house. He is 70 years old. So I also think that because he was on some heavy pain relief, accidents can happen. I don't know if he maybe forgot, because some of the side effects is forgetfulness. Did he forget that he took his pills and take another batch by accident? Long time ago, like 30 years ago, he did have a history of attempted suicide. That was long before we ever met. Maybe is a detective going to think that maybe this was some kind of attempted suicide? Is she going to think it's an accident, or is she going to think it's neglect? One of those three: accident, neglect, or attempted suicide. Personally, I don't think it was attempted suicide, because he wanted to live a long time so that he could see our baby get older. I still have not told the younger kids, because I spoke about it with my 18-year-old and my 20-year-old. My 20-year-old, he doesn't have much of an opinion, but my 18-year-old said, let them get adjusted to this new lifestyle a bit first. And his idea was not to tell them at all. I don't
No, and that's a horrible idea. Kids, no. Kids deserve to know that a parent has passed. They just do. It doesn't matter how old they are or how you. It's just so wrong not to tell them on so many levels. Right, Jessica. It's so wrong. Yeah, I agree, Marie. I agree. She does need help. Hey, oranges. Yeah, they sell. Yeah, Narcan. It should be available everywhere. She definitely needs she needed to tell the kids sooner than later because they're smart. They're going to find out anyway. They're going to keep asking questions. They're the older ones and you talk, they're going to overhear things. So it's better to come from you than somebody else.
Think that he doesn't think that they would resent that, and gives them a chance to get a little adjusted before. Now, my 16-year-old, I told him just tonight as much as I could without telling him all of the story. And I didn't lie. Everything I said was true. So what he knows is that he's in the next city at the hospital, which he is. They told me to contact a funeral home and make arrangements to have him picked up. I'm thinking practicality. We might have to just get him cremated. And my son, my 18-year-old, is like, well, can't we just like tell them for religion reasons? Because my husband did kind of have his, he was Christian, but he didn't follow a church. He had his own, he followed his own Christianity. And
okay,
so I told my,
here I have, here, right here, it says, is that the one? Hold on. Hold on. Nope. Okay. I'll stop it. I'll stop it when I need to.
And so I told my son, Julius, who was 20, that I don't think we can just like keep him in a...
By the way, I was looking for a comment that said she was still waiting to tell her kids, because that just shows that she was just completely lying to her subscribers.
Box in the house, a coffin in the house, because he'll rot. And I think it's against the law too to have, you know. I get this one. Yeah. The other thing I have going for me in terms of evidence, which I didn't tell the police or the detective about because I didn't want them to take it the wrong way, is I do have a short video and some pictures that I took of him.
I was trying to keep the kids out. I forgot to put a smiley face over this scene. I'm sorry, but for the most part, I tried to keep the kids out altogether.
Him while he was lying on the floor. And the reason was because I wanted to show him when he woke up what kind of condition he's in. I wanted to show him what these pills do to him. So he's got to try and stay as far from them as possible. So these pills,
yeah, she took a video of him laying on the floor.
He followed his own Christianity. And so I told my son, Julius, who was 20, that I don't think we can just like keep him in a box in the house, a coffin in the house, because he'll rot. And I think it's against the law too to have...
They wanted to keep him in a box in the house. They were going to keep him in a box in the house, you guys. That...
you know. I get this one. Yeah. The other thing I have going for me in terms of evidence, which I didn't tell the police or the detective about because I didn't want them to take it the wrong way, is I do have a short video and some pictures that I took of him while he was lying on the floor. And the reason was because I wanted to show him.
I'm sorry, but they do. She is, in my opinion, she is not stable enough to be a parent at the moment. She needs a lot of help herself. The kids need help. For real, for real. They do. She needs help. She definitely needs a lot of help. A lot.
When he woke up, what kind of condition he's in. I wanted to show him what these pills do to him. So he's got to try and stay as far from them as possible. So that can show that, well, we were aware that he was there on the floor and we just didn't know what was going on. We had been desensitized to this kind of knocking out. So here's my plan for day 2. Day 2 is I go back to the bank. I take out the rest of the money in his ODSP RBC account. I have to call the disability worker and tell her about it. And hopefully she can point me in the right direction now. I got to call pro bono 9 a.m. to get a lawyer.
Well, yes, he was taking strong pain meds and sleeping pills, crab apples, prescription. And I agree with Krista. It does sound like an accidental OD, possibly. Like I feel like he ran out of his meds, and then, like she said, 3 days went by, and I feel like he tried to take like the same dose, possibly, and it was already like 3 days out of his system, and it might have hit him a little harder because he hadn't taken it in 3 days. That's just a guess, you guys. That's just a guess. Yeah, she is Canadian, Jojo B. Sorry, Crab. I'm laughing because Crab Apples always says, why do the messed up people come from Canada? I'm not laughing at her. I'm laughing at Crab Apples. The thought. Crab Apples said in the beginning of the stream, damn it, she's Canadian. uh, it's okay, Crab Apples. We know you're legit.
Lawyer's advice. Hopefully she can tell me and settle my nerves. Hopefully she'll put me at ease that it's not likely that I would be charged. And we got to do a bit more.
Now listen, Linda. You guys, listen. Okay. Do you see this? I don't know if you can read it, but somebody says in her comments 5 days ago, honey, please tell your children. Now, this is 5 days ago, and this guy passed away July 17th of 2023. Remember that. Her response is 5 days ago, and he passed. Now, let me stay with me. He passed July 17th of 2023. Her response to this person saying, honey, please tell your children, I am trying to ease them into it. It has happened suddenly. Thank you for caring. That was her response 5 days ago, guys. But hubby passed July 17th of 2022. So why are you lying to your subscribers? Why are you lying to your subscribers?
More groceries.
You don't even have to lie. Like, even if you didn't tell your subscribers for 3 months, say you went away for 3 months, you didn't want to say anything because you were going through a real hard time, and you couldn't just bring yourself to say it, people would understand. But I think she made it look like it just happened so that she would gain more sympathy and more donations, because possibly if it just happened, she would get, did I say 22? I meant 23. I'm sorry. My bad. 23. I'm sorry. But still, 3 months ago. 3 months ago, guys. I didn't mean 22. I meant 23. July 17th of 2023. My bad. Thanks for correcting me. She needed to be honest with her subscribers. Well, I think it was pre-recorded, Joanna, but she chose to put it out as if it just happened, and she's responding in her comments as if it just happened. But I do think it was pre-recorded. Yeah, it was a bad decision to lie and manipulate your audience. It never ends well. It never ends well that way.
I'm going to check for prescription coverage now for women in my situation that are now. Thanks again for watching. I'll be in the next video. I'll be letting you know what's going on as it goes on. Thanks for watching again. Bye. I forgot to say a few things. I really appreciate you because, as I mentioned, I think this would be good for me going through this rough time. I appreciate everybody, every one of you who watches and gives me your feedback, your advice. I appreciate all of it. I forgot to mention what I told my 16-year-old now. So I told him tonight, I told him that his dad, that the doctor at the hospital told me he might not be the same man again, which is true. Because we don't know how long he didn't have, sorry, that's my kids. I don't know, nobody knows how long he didn't have enough oxygen going to his brain for. I told him that he was in the city next.
Now here she is telling her 15, 16-year-old son, still hasn't told him about his father, but she's skirting around the issue of his passing. He deserves to know the truth. They all deserve to know the truth.
Over at the hospital there, which he is. I told him that he's not getting better. And I tried to prepare him by telling him that, we have some savings and we're going to be there for each other. He can talk to his older brother, Julius, who's 18, Aaron, his oldest brother, 20, and he can talk to me whenever he wants. And he I think that's it. But like I said, Julius's viewpoint was to not tell the kids at all. And so I told Adonis, my 16-year-old son, our 16-year-old son, as much as I could. I just stopped to the point where I said that he was not coming home at all. You know, that, and my 10-year-old just asked, you know, can we go see him in the hospital? I said, no. My daughter earlier today, when is he coming home? I just told him, she's 7, that I don't know. Oh yeah, and we got a visit from the Child Protective Services in where I live here. It's called Family and Children's Services, FACS short. And in the US, it's called CPS, the baby police or whatever. And so we were gone, fortunately, but they left a box of donuts at the door with a card and his name written on it. And I'm really glad that we were gone when he came because, like I said, the children don't even know yet. Is that bad? Is
Right,
trying to ease them in as
Krista?
much as we can. So I said last night to, actually it was early this morning, very early this morning to Julius, again, my 18-year-old son, that I don't know how much longer I can not tell Adonis. You know, he's 16. He's going to figure out some things. He's older. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just tell them all at once and I'll wait for, sorry, that's my foot. I'm just tense. It's a lot. I'm nervous. My young one's coming in here. Yeah. Okay, just shut the door, please. What? Are you done?
My balloon.
I'll fix your balloon after, okay?
My balloon
Okay.
And the highest.
Okay, I'll try and get it right after, okay?
And it has a short thing.
Okay. This is Passion. She was our first girl. Can you close the door, Passion? We had 5 boys in a row up until she came along. And then Empress, who is 3, our second girl. And then our...
And honestly, does she not, like, when we were kids, we used to listen at the door to our parents talking because we were nosy. So does she not think that the kids can hear her through the door? I mean, they've probably known shortly after it happened because you've been talking and making videos about it. Right. But remember, Krista, she posted these 3 months after the fact, so I hope they know by now. I'm just saying, I really hope they know by now.
Our baby, who is over a year old. Now, fax came today, and sorry, I'm shaking my foot again. My husband's idea, if they ever came, because they had come before, was that he was just going to get a lawyer and tell them they couldn't come in. He was going to get like a lawyer for people with not much income, and he didn't want to deal with them anymore because they came before and they never found anything, and they came a few years before that. And, but here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that when he comes, I'm not going to let him into the house because the kids have been through enough. Because he's going to come in, he's going to look for things, and the kids have been through enough. I'm going to tell him that, and I think I'll talk to him in front of the house, just outside the front door with it closed, because he might be able to point me in the direction of some resources, some extra help. And I don't think he'll come back again because he wrote his name on the card, and he's going to probably expect me to call him back, which I'm not going to. Well, yeah, I don't think I'm going to. So I'm thinking that's our plan. As far as the house being messy and dirty and the baby not having a crib because he sleeps with me, the police already came in. They saw it all. They checked it all out. And that's what I'm going to tell him. The police saw everything. They checked everything out. They know it all already.
They don't care if the police have been there or not. They're going to want to see it for themselves. And, yeah, she means public defender. She's talked about that a couple of times. Yep. You're right, Becca. One of her son's names is Arian, and that really put up some red flags for me, by the way. Yep. See, I haven't watched a lot of her back videos, Becca. I just watched 1 or 2, so I didn't see his tattoos. But yeah, so possibly they are of the Aryan you-know-what. Hey, Camps. Yes, it raised mine, Minka, very much so. I think that might have been one reason why he kept them secluded from everybody else too, as well. That could be a very good reason why. Yep.
there's nothing secret. So
Now, this is on her phone. Hold on.
my husband passed away. I kind of have the shakes a little here. It's 3:25 in the morning. I got up at 2 a.m. and it's been 3 days since my last video. And the reason why I am putting this out there is because I think it'll help me a lot with trying to get through this very difficult time.
I think you guys can see that right there. She's making this video in October, but the phone says July 22nd. Do you guys see that? Can you see that? I know it's hard to see the white lettering on the phone, but yeah. Yep. No more Nashies. Yep. Well, Camps, you're a little late, but he was found on the floor. He was found on the floor, and he laid on the floor for quite a while until she called the EMS. He took some medication that he had, and she said it was normal for him to nod off and nod out on medication.
It's the most difficult time I've ever had to face in my life. I have 8 children with my husband. Our eldest is 20 years old. Our youngest is 17 months. And my husband, who was 70, passed away suddenly. And there's no will. And I don't have any family members to go to.
Right there. That's an easier shot. July 22nd. But the date of this video is October 23. This is July 22nd of 23. The date of this video is October of 23. So, she has definitely lied to the audience about when he passed. That's 1. 2, she didn't call the EMS right away when her husband was on the floor for God knows how long, because we don't know. She just said a long while. She was waiting for him to sleep it off with vomit coming out of the side of his mouth, and she said, I figured he'd be okay because the fluid was coming out of his mouth. His head was turned. Yeah. I think it was accidental, Camps. I don't think it was intentional, but yep, Angel Glass. Yep. But I do kind of think it was accidental, but I'm not sure. Allegedly.
Like I said in one of my previous videos, there isn't anybody. I don't have any friends. I don't have any family members or his family members to go to. It's just us. So the update here is I've been really, really busy, like really busy, because when I found out that where I live in Canada, it's called FACS, and in the US, it's called CPS, Child Protective Services. In Canada, it's Families and Children Services, and in a situation like this, they're automatically called. So I haven't told my children yet that my husband's dead, their father is dead, and that's because I'm trying to give them time to ease into this new situation, this new lifestyle. As far as they think right now, they think he's still in the hospital. And they remember when I was in the hospital with the baby. I was in the hospital for 5 days with the baby. So to them right now, they think this is normal, that daddy's in the hospital, and they.
Now I think this is like what, the 3rd video that she put out where she hadn't told the children yet. I think this was 5 days after his passing that she has not told the children yet. Back in July, though. Back in July. Not in October like she's making it out to be.
I think he's getting looked after. He is still, so far things are functioning okay. So my son and my 2 eldest sons, 18 and 20, we discussed it, and my 18-year-old son, he just thought that, don't tell them, give them time to adjust, and then they'll figure it out eventually themselves. I think it won't come to that point. I think I'll have to tell them at some point, but right now they still don't know. Okay, battery's running out. I gotta change battery. Every day I've been nervous. Every day I've been shaking a little, and like, I don't know. I think you can see that there. And the day before yesterday, I told our 15-year-old son, he asked me, because there were some papers on the table, and you see, FACS, which is the same as CPS in the US. They came to our door. They wanted to see the children. Now, I was out running errands with my other two sons, going to the bank, stuff like that. And they came to the door and they said, sorry for your...
Whoops, hold on. Hold on. Oops. Where? Hold on, guys. I lost it. Where did it go?
Arian is 20, and I got them to be well, brother. He saw the kitchen. It's the street, and I was dabbing a little, and I don't know. I think you can see that there. And the day before yesterday, I told our 15-year-old son. He asked me because there were some papers on the table, and you see, fax, which is the same as CPS in the US. They came to our door. They wanted to see the children. Now, I was out running errands with my other two sons, going to the bank, stuff like that. And they came to the door and they said, sorry for your loss. And someone's trying to come in. And my Adonis, my 15-year-old, he didn't know what they were talking about. But there were some papers left in the mailbox. And I thought that these papers were from the street. I thought the whole street got these papers because there was a picture of children smiling on it. And it said music or something on it. So I thought, I don't need to read this right now. I'm just going to put it on the table, in the kitchen table. I thought it was from like the local club or something. We have like a club around here. And so I left it on the table. And later on, Adonis looked at it and he saw that there was a support group for grieving children. And his older brother, his 18-year-old brother, his 20-year-old brother, Julius is 18, Arian is 20. And I got them to be with us. I told him, and I said,
okay.
Remember when I told you Daddy's not getting better? He said, yes. Do you remember when I...
So I showed this description under the October 6th video because she has since changed her description to let people know that July 17th of 2023 is when he actually passed, because she got called out on this. I think it was yesterday by another creator, the one that I showed you guys in the beginning of this video or this live stream. So she has since changed, and I'm not sure, she may have changed all of them now, but I showed you the one that she didn't change, making it seem like he had passed in September, the end of September. So she has since changed this. She's also trying to say that she had no intention of making people think that he passed in September, but I don't believe that at all. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be responding to comments saying that you haven't told your children yet, and in 3 months have already passed since your husband has passed. So it doesn't make sense or add up.
I told you he was at the hospital in the next city. He said yes. And I told him that, I said, oh, that is true. But, I told him, that Julius and Arian were...
And also, let me just go one step further and say this. Maybe, do you guys, and I hate to say this, but we do these reactions because it's a little bit of an, investigation, a little bit of, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. What if they were all scared of him and they just kind of let him lay there? And that's all I'm going to say. What if they wanted to get out of the situation that they were in with her and her two older boys? An escape, if you will. An escape from maybe the mental torture, the physical torture. If she came clean about that to the police, then she may not be liable for anything. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Yeah. He wasn't there for days, Desiree. Hours, though. Hours. You know, the unfortunate part is that he has raised his boys under his hateful beliefs, if that's what he's believing. So those boys, the older boys, have already endured a lot of his psychological talk, if you will. And on some of the videos, you guys need to go. Can somebody link Mom of 8 Kids? Can somebody link that channel? You guys need to go back and watch some of the videos. There's a video of her. I just want to show you, but in order to show you, I have to show the kids, and I don't want to do that. But one of the sons, the way he looks at his dad in that video, do you guys want to see it real quick? Or should I just let you guys watch it on your own? I'm just saying, the way that the older son looked at the father prior to his passing. Like, I'm just gonna show it real fast though, because I'm trying to avoid sharing the kids' faces, but she shares them on her whole channel. What do you guys? I mean, I don't know. I'm torn. It's like 2 seconds though. All right. Let me go and show you. Well, let's finish this real quick. I know she's definitely programmed No More Nashies. She is. I hope she knows that that's not the lifestyle she has to lead, and her kids don't have to lead it anymore either. And I do feel bad for her, though. I still feel bad for her because I feel like he got her at a very young age and manipulated her. I really do. Oh, yeah, oranges, oranges, absolutely. Let's see. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna bring some up real quick. I am. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna bring it up real quick. We're far enough into the video, into the live where I feel like I need to bring it up actually. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. Okay, here it is, right here. All right, let me just let's finish this one real quick, and then I'll show you the clip.
There when he passed at the hospital, and that we decided that this is what we would do, and that we wanted him to ease into it, before he found out. And yeah, that's a little paper. So anyhow, he was okay. He didn't cry, but he did get teary-eyed at the start when he said to me, "Why is everybody pretending that Daddy's dead?" D-E-A-D. Okay, why is everybody pretending that he's D-E-A-D? Doesn't change. So I think that's why things are going well. And so
her 16-year-old said, "Why is everybody pretending Dad is dead? Why?"
Back to what I was saying about frantically cleaning the house.
And do you guys know that he found out from the CPS people that his father was gone? Not from the mother, not from the brothers, but from the CPS people that his father was gone.
So since they could come in no matter what, I spoke to the family lawyer. She said they can come in 3 ways: either permission, get a court order, or forcefully if they think a child's in trouble.
Yes.
Now, fortunately, I'm going by. Yeah, you can color on paper in a minute here. The police hadn't told him how messy the house is. This is a routine because they did come back, and my son answered the door, Julius, and told them that right now's not a good time. So they made an appointment to come back Monday at 3:30 in the afternoon. So before that appointment was made, we were frantically cleaning up the house as best as we could, so that we don't get in trouble. It needed to be cleaned up anyway, so that's why I wasn't in a rush the first 2 days, because I knew I was going to be cleaning the house anyway. But then on the 3rd day, when I found out that, or or maybe it was Tuesday when I called the lawyer, that they're going to be coming in no matter what. And I'm not going to leave it to the point where they have to get a court order, because that looks really, really bad. It looks like you have something to hide. Emperor's Stone. And so we were all frantically cleaning the house, and we're still cleaning the house. We want to make it look really good. And also the busyness really helps too. It helps me cope. If I had nothing to do, I think I would go crazy, So the busyness helps, and it's nice getting the house cleaned up. Today, now, I have to contact an estate lawyer because there was no will, and we have our 8 children still, so young, and I want to know if the stuff that he has his name on, can I take that money out? I mean, I'm naturally his next of kin, or naturally would be the power of attorney. Am I allowed to take that out? I don't want to get charged for fraud or anything. That would be terrible. Going in jail at this terrible time, I'm not going to take that risk. So I'll call the pro bono or whatever it's called to talk for low-income people, to talk to a lawyer for free. That watched my video called them, and the police went and they looked at my videos on YouTube, and they came to check on me.
Okay, so this is her. This is an up-to-date video. Okay, this was actually done up to date. People called the police because they were concerned about her, I guess. They came at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I was so relieved when they told me that I didn't have anything to worry about, that I wasn't in trouble, because that was what I first thought when they came. Is I thought, oh no, the results came back and there's something not right. The results from the autopsy, that is, and I was afraid that they were here because I was in trouble. So they said I wasn't in trouble, thank God, and that somebody had called them that had seen my video the 39 hours after, and they just came to check to see if I was okay, and I was very comforting. They were understanding, and they said that anybody would have those kinds of thoughts after something like that happened, and they were comforting.
Okay, I don't think. Well, I don't. Okay. Not most people wouldn't have the thoughts she's been having, though, and I wonder if they watched the full videos, because yeah, she is very scared of getting in trouble. Even 3 months later, she's still scared of getting in trouble. What is going on? Why? Yeah. Yes. She's got a lot on her plate. She really does. No more Nashies. And I still feel bad for her. I'm just saying, yeah. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. So listen. I'm gonna get you guys seeing this. I may have to show just the... I don't like... She shows her kids on all her videos, and I hate showing the kids. But I want you guys to see this part. This was a trip that they went to Wendy's, and hold on. So I want you to pay attention to the son's facial reaction, the older son. I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to keep it off here. The volume anyway. So the dad, that's the dad, and he's ordering at the screen. The mom pans over to the kids. Now, the little girl, she's so cute. The mom's going to pan over to the son. Hold on. Watch this. Watch the son. I want you guys to pay attention to the son in the middle. Watch the son and the way he's looking at his... The son looks very, she pans over to him again. I don't think it's... Hold on. I might have missed it. Hold on. There she go. That baby is so cute, though. I'm gonna blur it out when I replay this. But look at the son. look at the son. Look at how he looks. Like, he does not. And the way he looks up at, he's like looking, I don't want to show these. Yeah, the way he looks at that dad, just caught my attention. Hold on. Wait a minute. She's gonna go back to the son. Look at that. Like, he is not having it. So, anyways, I didn't want to keep it on the kids. Yeah, he just looks very unwell himself. And that's the one that had problems with anxiety. And I do feel really bad for all her kids. I really do. I really feel bad. They're beautiful kids. I feel horrible that they're in the situation they are in. I feel bad for her. I do. But at the same time, like, you can't be doing the things that you're doing. You can't be lying to your audience and saying that your husband just passed like last week when he did 3 months ago, and then, manipulate your audience. It's not okay. It's not okay. Also, there are red flags because she has been paranoid in every video about being in trouble. And then saying that they didn't do anything. They just let him lay there and let him sleep it off. I don't know. There's a lot of red flags. Red flags. Flags. Oh, well, she's almost 4, Marie. That one was almost 4. Yeah, she's almost 4, going on 4. They're cute kids, but there's too many red flags in this situation. It's a wild story nonetheless. I do wish the kids well. I wish that the mother would get help. She definitely needs it. Like, she definitely needs help. She needs the problem is, I think that they were raised not to trust anybody, not to trust government. I think they're anti-government. I think they're anti, like, first responder, like all that. He was paranoid. He was a very paranoid person. That is something they all need help, and they all need help with reprogramming. Like, because I feel like he has brainwashed them all. Okay, Rapture Preppers. I'm not familiar with that, Nashies. Could one of the mods drop her channel link? Please do not go over there and hate on her or show her any hate. It's not going to help the situation. There, I think, well, they did do an autopsy, and I do believe that the police are still investigating the situation. So they know about her YouTube channel. She told them. Because people called. People called the police on her already, and they made an appearance over there. So just, put out your good vibes for them, your prayers, whatever. They need all the help they can get, like mental, physical, financial, all of it. But I just wanted to say it, but it wasn't okay that she lied to her audience. Like, she needs to come and maybe make an apology video about that, because I feel like people will be understanding because she is under a lot of stress and grief and all that. But Yeah, she definitely needs to. Yes, she needs to. Mm-hmm. Yep, crab apples. Yep. And whatever might happen with that situation, I mean, that's out of our hands. The investigation and all that. That's out of our hands. But I just think, like, why was she so worried about, like, even months later? Like, my mom passed, like I said, my mom passed at home here, and she was taking meds for hospice, but she just, and I was never worried, ever, ever, 1 second worried about the police coming. And after they left, I had no worries, not one, about them thinking any foul play or anything. So I just wonder why is she so worried? And then she even implicated her sons in it. Mm-hmm. Yes, please do not leave hateful comments to her channel. Like, she really doesn't need that. Yeah, she is under brainwashing. That's true. And I hate, like, I kind of think, like, well, I don't think they did anything to him. Like, honestly, I don't. I don't think they intentionally did anything to that man. But I'm wondering if they just were like, okay, well, we're not going to bother with him because of fear. You know what I mean? If you can pick up what I'm putting down. Right, Pam G? Hopefully she can get the counseling she needs and her children and turn this around, because I do feel like she was trapped in, like, at best, an emotionally, you know, anything's possible. Wake up, Maggie. Anything is possible. Exactly. No more Nashies. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. The fact that she's been worried every single video is very telling. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't think they intentionally did anything, but I don't think they did anything to stop the progress of what he was already going through either, if that makes sense. Yep, fear can be paralyzing. I just think they let what was happening happen, if you know what I mean. I mean, she said so herself. Like, well, he was just laying there, and we wanted, we were just going to let him sleep it off. I don't know, though. I don't know. I have a lot of questions, that's for sure. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But, right. Oh, you did a video yesterday? Okay. A tribute to your mom. If you want, you can share No More Nashi's channel. Crab apples, could you do it? I think that anybody that sees her videos knows that she needs a lot of mental health care. Anybody that watches those videos, you can tell that she's been sheltered for 20 years. And she needs a lot of help. She needs a lot of help. And so do the kids. They really do. And the fact that, thank you, Crab Apples. I do wish them the best, but I do feel like I don't feel like she's going to get the help. She's not going to get the resources or the help she needs because she was programmed to believe that people on the outside are bad by her husband. Right, Crab Apple's right, because they want to make sure. She definitely needs help. Needs all the help. So, all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get off here for now, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Did you guys like this? Or I know some people might have thoughts about me covering this story because of the subject at hand, but I'm not the first to cover it, and I probably won't be the last. And I tried to do it as respectfully as possible. So I hope that you all enjoyed it. And also remember, don't go and show her any hate or anything. She does have a Patreon on her channel if you are interested in helping her. I know that she wasn't forthcoming with all the information, but that being said, the woman does have 8 kids and she does need a lot of help. So thank you so much, Desiree. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. Yes, we can. We can go back in time, Crab Apples. Stay safe wherever you are. Oh, and also, happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadians out there. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the way out. Good night, everybody. Talk to you real soon. Bye, guys.